what you're going to undertake. So we don't want to just train you and leave you. We want to train you, support you to get established, and enable you to work. All those who took up arms against our homeland will perish. We cannot imagine the pain of each of you, but we know that you are the heroes during our absence. God only knows how you are suffering, whether we return or not.
Hello, fam. Okay, so when you hear Captain Ibrahim Traoré, what comes to your mind? I know what's to your mind, and it's all positive. Anyway, so in today's content, he had this meeting with the widows of the soldiers. You know, their people has been fighting this terrorism for some time now, and soldiers has been on the field from 2015, and most of them have lost their lives, but then they left behind wives who are now widows and kids, children. So he had this special meeting with such families. Woo, such a thoughtful. Let's kindly listen to what transpired between him and these women and how thoughtful this man is. And afterwards, we will have more discussions. Thank you.
Pray for them. We continue to pray for all those who have gone before us to the afterlife. But we do not mourn them because we do not want us to continue feeling sorry for ourselves. We will avenge them, and we will avenge them forever. All those who took up arms against our homeland will perish. I promise you this. And we will ensure that we continue to equip, train, and recruit Burkinabe youth to defend our homeland, and that we can bring back the much-desired development to Burkina Faso for the happiness of our people. So be honored for that. Those who sacrificed their lives so that we are here today, and continue to pray for all those who continue to fight so that tomorrow our homeland will be a war imposed on us. We have no choice but to fight, and that is what we are doing. Today, more than ever, we have the initiative on the ground, and day by day, we avenge all those who have lost their lives in this fight since 2015. We cannot imagine the pain of each of you, but we know that you are the heroes during our absence. God only knows how you are suffering, whether we return or not. Women continue to suffer at home. Children are suffering greatly in our absence. It is painful, but be sure of one thing, it is for the homeland. And all we can do is think about how to take care of you so that this pain can be eased. I think this is the very essence of this conference, which has brought you together so that we can find solutions that come from you. Recently, we've been working to develop an application through which people can register. And I've been informed that the application is ready and should be launched in the coming hours or days. The entire process will be implemented to help those who cannot register on their own, to support them, to enable them to register, and to first have a clear, comprehensive database of all those who have sacrificed everything for their country. This is how we can truly support you, the wives that you are, and our children that you continue to support. But before all that, we have taken several steps to provide as much support as possible. The database will give us a full picture of the situation and allow us to take appropriate measures. And it is with this in mind that ASAV-OVG was created. Because if we want to effectively take action on behalf of our wounded, widows, and orphans, we need to have an agency specifically dedicated to this because there are so many services. And I know that many of you are often bothered by the array of associations or services that continue to call you left, right, and center for certain things. We want to standardize all this data. That's why ASAV-OVG was created. And I think you will contribute through representatives at ASAV-OVG to manage a certain amount of data. And I'm already pleased with the first point that was raised, in particular, finding an umbrella organization that will recruit all the widows in Burkina Faso. That's already a very good start. With the database, I think it will be very easy to do, and it's from there that we can take consistent action on your behalf. So let's get back to the points that were raised here. When I take the case of women's empowerment, as you said, it's essential to move towards that so that every woman can have enough to feed her family. That's the very essence of what we want to do. It's imperative. Otherwise, how will we educate our children? How will we care for our children? So, in this context, you mentioned a number of measures that can be considered, and we're going to reflect on the case of those who have created vocational schools, academic diplomas, the Ministry of Civil Service even considering the issue of quotas, particularly the training centers that we have already initiated on a small scale. But it's not global, and I'm still saying that the database will allow us to have a map because there are those located in large cities. But through the databases, we need to know how many women come from Gorom, how many women come from Nangulugo. We are in a dynamic of power, gradually integrating you, whether it's those who have diplomas or those who don't already have them, or those who benefit from training, whether in sewing, soap making, catering, or other fields. We are restructuring many funds at the government level. So this year, I was able to see the report, for example, of the fund we called Fesconably. They granted loans worth nearly 7 billion. But those who benefit from the loan are not aware of the purpose for which they take the loan. I gave instructions to redirect the loan towards fairly strategic objectives. You will be able to benefit from loans in these structures, in the places you know well, which we are also revitalizing. This is in favor of all women. Here, the file is clear, so we can have special advantages so that you can also access funds there to help you set up your business. There is the fund that existed for financial inclusion, which we recently transformed into an agency if you've been following. It has now become the Agency for the Promotion of Financial Inclusion, and we want to equip it so that it can support you. And it's the fund, really, which is also dedicated to small and very small businesses in particular. So women who are entrepreneurs who want to have a minimum credit and be self-sufficient in their jobs. In addition to all that, those who want to start a business in the field of agriculture or agricultural processing. We also want to replenish the N2 CACAFA funds so that you can apply. And once we have a clear enough file, if you apply, Esvovig will see how to interact with all these funds to facilitate and monitor your progress.
Okay, so if you stick with us till now, thank you very much. And yes, I've seen we have new members here. Welcome and thanks for joining this family. We are family here, and we all have Africa and most especially Ghana at heart. Okay, so back to the video. The goal of that meeting was to help the widows and children continue life very well, even with their husbands and not around, and not these families becoming victims of the system. But as you can clearly see, Ibrahim Traoré from the video, there's also this sense of accountability. He's not just giving families food and money, feeding them, but he's empowering them in an accountable way, and at the same time monitoring their progress. Another shocking part of this meeting, what transpired, is that he's not just occupying his widows with activities, with work, but he's also working on actually giving them ready markets as well. So for instance, if a widow is trained in soap making, that widow is going to be equipped or given ready to buy clients or market, so she can sell and be profitable and be able to be independent. What a leader. Anyway, thanks for watching till now. We appreciate your presence, your time, your efforts to always click on our videos. Until then, we'll meet another time. Peace out.
especially regarding